user watching the Chicago Outfit Files. A picture taken in late summer 1976 at the Sicily restaurant, located on the line between Chicago and Elmwood Park, at 2743 North Harlem Avenue, shows a rare gathering of the outfit's leading figures. These men normally denied knowing each other, but here they are sitting together in a meeting that took place before the restaurant opened for the night. It was seized from the home of a leading underworld figure during a 1981 IRS raid. It has since been dubbed the Last Supper, possibly because one of the men in the photo was terminally ill. Regardless, it became a touchstone for law enforcement in determining the various connections and relationships these individuals had with one another. So let's take a look at these individuals, some of whom would become synonymous with organized crime in Chicago. From left to right, closest to the camera, are Anthony Joe Batters Accardo, Black Joe Amato, Joseph Little Caesar DiVarco, and Jimmy the Turk Torello. Seated across the table are Joey Dubs Aiuppa, Dominic DiBella, Vincent Solano, and Al Pilotto. Standing are John Jackie the Lackey Cerone and Joseph the Clown Lombardo. So let's start with the boss. Tony Big Tuna Accardo. Law enforcement listed him as a daily advisor, but make no mistake, he was the boss. Despite the violent life he led, he never spent any significant time in jail. He died in 1992 at age 86. Another top boss was Joseph the Doves Aiuppa. In fact, he's listed as such in the FBI's organizational chart. Once described by the late Frank Collada as being so mean, he'd whack a ham sandwich. He died in 1997 at the age of 89.
We should take a whack at me. I wouldn't do that, sir.
John Jackie the Lackey Cerone, described by law enforcement as the Underboss. He died 6 days after being released from prison in 1996 at age 82.
How was your meeting, Jackie?
No comment, sir.
What did they ask you about?
He has no comment, gentlemen.
Joseph, Joey the Clown Lombardo, probably one of the more notorious members of the Chicago outfit, as his nickname suggests, because of his unusual antics. But don't let the nickname fool you. Any jokes with him were one way only. Inside that friendly demeanor was a stone-cold killer.
Very good picture. There you are. You like this picture? All right. Come on, I'll take a picture. Yeah, stay here. Here, Molly was. Right?
What's your name? Are you important?
Huh?
Are you important?
Huh?
Why are you trying to track you down for your picture?
I don't know. Ask them.
Who is he? Oh.
I'm just buying a picture.
Oh, okay.
You like this picture?
Yeah, it's nice.
Al Pilotto, also described as a capo in organized crime charts. Pilotto, a former bodyguard for the late Frank Laporte, syndicate boss of the Calumet City, Chicago Heights area. Following Laporte's death in 1973, Pilotto took over the syndicate control of the illegal activities in that area. In 1981, Pilotto survived an assassination attempt, and sources say that two members of Pilotto's crew, Nick D'Andrea and Sam Gazzino, were allegedly behind the botched hit, and so a contract was quickly placed on their heads. Dominic DiBella, described as a capo in law enforcement circles. He was a member of the Three Doms, or Terrible Doms, depending on who you asked. He retired in the 1960s, but was brought back at the behest of Tony Accardo to take over after his former boss, Ross Prio, died in 1972. After decades of murders and extortion, he died of cancer in 1976 at the age of 74. Vincent Solano, described as an underboss in law enforcement records. He took over the operations of the Rush Street crew after Dominic DiBella became too ill to perform the duties. It was Solano that ordered the bungled hit on Kentokyo Joe Eto. The two hitmen Jasper Campisi and Joey Gattuso were later found dead in the trunk of Campisi's car. Vincent Solano died of natural causes on November 16, 1992, at his home in Lisle, Illinois. James Vincent Turk Torello. According to law enforcement records, Torello served as capo of the Southside 26th Street crew. By the early 1970s, Torello had become a high-ranking member within the outfit. In 1973, with the death of Fiore Fifi Buccieri, Torello became the outfit's chief enforcer. He also became involved in loan sharking, illegal gambling, and pornography. In the late 1970s, Torello bought a home in Palm Springs, California. And in April 1979, he died of cancer at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago at age 48. Joseph Little Caesar DiVarco was a made member of the Chicago outfit. Although he had connections to top bosses, at the time the Last Supper photograph was taken, his power was waning after the death of Sam Momo Giancana. In 1985, DiVarco was convicted of racketeer influence and Corrupt Organizations Act violations and for running a sports betting operation. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. While being transported between federal prisons on a bus, DiVarco began complaining of chest pains and difficulty breathing. Unfortunately, these complaints fell on deaf ears. And on January 5th, 1986, DiVarco died in Washington, D.C., having just arrived while in federal custody. He was 74 years old. Joseph Black Joe Amato, longtime North Suburban gambling boss. He was a discreet capo who purportedly earned the nickname Black Joe due to a perpetual tan from playing on golf courses. To say he kept a low profile is an understatement. There are very few photographs of him, and even less information. And because of this, he made last on the list, despite being an obvious big shot within the Chicago outfit. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please consider leaving a like and subscribing for future episodes.